Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. In this video, we are going to cover the current affairs. For mobile optimized ebooks, please install GKToday Academy app. For regular updates, please join our Telegram channel. The name of Telegram channel is GKToday YouTube, and this is the link. You can join it directly through name or through this link. The link is also given in the description box as well as in the pinned comment, and the link of app is also given in the description box. Now let's start. What is the name of mobile application launched by the Government of India to enable people to assess the risk of coronavirus infection? So the name of this app is Arogya Setu, and this app has been developed in a public-private partnership under the guidance of NIC's National Informatics Center, and it is under Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. So this app has been launched on both Google Play Store and Apple Store. So this app has been developed to assess the risk of Covid-19. Now, because of this Covid-19, there is a 21 days lockdown in our country, and after the 21 days, to restore normalcy, recently PMO, that is Prime Minister's Office, constituted a task force, and this task force is to be headed by Mr. P.K. Mishra. Apart from that, recently it was announced that a task force will be constituted to tackle with the economic impacts of this Covid-19, and this task force will be headed by present Finance Minister Ms. Nirmala Sitharaman. And recently she announced a relief package of 1.7 lakh crores for the vulnerable and marginalized section as well as for doctors in this lockdown period. Now recently, Ms. Sitharaman was also in news as she participated in the G20 virtual meeting of finance ministers and central bank governors. It is important to note that this year Saudi Arabia is the president. India is going to host this G20 summit in 2022. Now apart from that, recently an empowered committee was constituted to reach out to the private sector and NGOs for the management assistance for this COVID-19, and this empowered committee will be headed by Niti Aayog CEO Mr. Amitabh Kant. The United Nations Conference of Parties 26th Climate Change Summit, which has been postponed to 2021, was scheduled to be held in which city? So it was scheduled to be held in Glasgow, and now it has been postponed to 2021. COP stands for Conference of Parties, the 25th COP held in Spain in Madrid, and this was under the presidency of Chile government. So this conference is a part of UNFCCC, that is United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. The Union Agriculture Minister launched a new feature of National Agriculture Market platform amid the lockdown. Now the question is, when was this e-NAM launched in our country? So this was launched in 2016. So recently new features of this e-NAM has been launched by the Union Agriculture Minister. It is important to note that this e-NAM platform was launched in 2016 as a nationwide electronic trade portal which links APMC of various states. So what is APMC? APMC is Agricultural Produce Market Committee. So with the help of this e-NAM, APMCs are interconnected. Now, if we talk about Union Agriculture Minister, present minister is Mr. Narendra Singh Tomar. His constituency is Morena. It is in Madhya Pradesh, and recently Indore in Madhya Pradesh was in news as it has been connected to Kishangarh in Rajasthan under Udan scheme. Udan stands for Ude Desh Ka Aam Nagrik. So it is a scheme of Ministry of Civil Aviation. Recently, Ministry of Civil Aviation also launched Lifeline Udan to transport essential medical supplies. The Ministry of Civil Aviation is also the implementing authority of Krishi Udan. This Krishi Udan scheme was announced during the budget, and it is a scheme for transporting agricultural products. Now under this Lifeline Udan scheme, the Government of India recently announced establishment of Cargo Air Bridge. Now answer in comment box with which country India has announced this cargo air bridge. As per a recent survey, about one-fourth of Indians currently pay for the news. Which international organization conducted this survey? So this survey has been conducted by World Economic Forum. And as per this survey, one-fourth of the consumers in India pay for the news, but nearly two-thirds of the population are willing to pay for the news. Now, if we talk about World Economic Forum, the recent meeting of World Economic Forum held in Davos. Actually, every year this annual meeting held in Davos, and this year the Indian delegation was led by Mr. Piyush Goyal. He is the present Commerce Minister. Now, recently Commerce Ministry was in news because of DGF. DGFT is Directorate General of Foreign Trade. So DGFT is under Commerce Ministry, and recently DGFT banned export of HCQ. HCQ stands for hydroxychloroquine. So it is a anti-malaria medicine which is useful in coronavirus as well. And recently USA requested Indian government for this HCQ. Now this World Economic Forum also prepare a gender gap index. Now answer in comment box on the basis of how many parameters this gender gap index is prepared and what is rank of India as per this index. Geeta Ramji, an Indian origin South African who recently passed away, was associated with which profession? So she was well-known virologist. Now, if we talk about virology, our National Institute of Virology was also in news. It is in Pune. Apart from that, one more person associated to virology was in news. She is Meenal Bhosle. Actually, she is the head of this MyLab company which recently developed testing kit for coronavirus, and MyLab became the first Indian company to get approval for this testing kit. MyLab is a Pune based company, and recently Pune was in news as India's first intercity electric bus service was started between Pune and Mumbai. If we talk about South Africa, the president of South Africa is Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, and recently he was in news as he took over the chair of African Union. Answer in comment box in which country the headquarters of African Union is situated. The application called Neighborly, which was recently shut down, was initially launched by which major technology firm? Right answer is Google. So it was an app of Google and it will be completely closed in May 2020. Now Google was also in news as it is going to open its second cloud region in India in Delhi in 2021. The first one is in Mumbai. Google was also in news as recently Mr. Sanjay Gupta was appointed as the new country manager of Google India. Google was also in news because of its Pehle Safety campaign. So this is a cyber safety awareness campaign of Google. Apart from that, Google was also in news because of Tangi. It is a short video making application by the Google which is similar to TikTok. Now recently one more application was in news. It is Viewpoints. Answer in comment box. It is application of which company? According to the recent report of ADB, that is Asian Development Bank, what will be the growth rate of India in the current fiscal year? So as per ADB, the growth rate is going to be 4%. Recently, ADB released ADO, that is Asian Development Outlook. And as per this report, India is going to grow at 4%. The previous estimation was 5%. So this downgrade in the growth projection is because of Covid-19. Now, if we talk about ADB, the headquarters is in Philippines. And as per the recent data, Japan is the largest shareholder in ADB and Japan is followed by USA. Asian Development Bank is an official United Nations observer and the top largest borrowing countries from the Asian Development Bank are China, India and Pakistan. Which financial institution has granted $1 billion fund to India to strengthen its response in containing the COVID-19? So right answer is World Bank. World Bank has granted $1 billion fund to India, and this is the largest ever grant provided for India till date from the World Bank. And this fund will cover all the states and union territories, and it will be managed by NHM, that is National Health Mission, NCDC, that is National Center for Disease Control, and ICMR. ICMR stands for Indian Council of Medical Research. So this fund provided by WHO will be used for the procurement of testing kits, setting up of new isolation wards, and for PPE. Now this term PPE is important for exam. PPE stands for personal protective equipment. So it is used by the doctors who are involved in the treatment of patients infected by coronavirus. Now, if we talk about World Bank was also in news as recently it launched pandemic bonds. World Bank was also in news as the chief economist of World Bank, P.J. Goldberg, recently resigned. So P.J. Goldberg was the chief economist of World Bank, while the chief economist of IMF is Geeta Gopinath. The chief of World Bank is David Malpass, and chief of IMF is Kristalina Georgieva. Now answer in comment box which organization released Global Economic Prospectus. Tony Lewis, who devised DLS method, passed away recently. DLS is a mathematical formula associated with which game? So it is associated to cricket, and the full form of this DLS method is Duckworth-Lewis method. So it is a formula used to determine the winner in cricket games that are affected by bad weather. So suppose due to rain, if a cricket match is stopped, then using this DLS method, the winner is determined. And this method was adopted by ICC in 1999. ICC stands for International Cricket Council. The headquarters of ICC is in Dubai. Dubai is in UAE. Recently, Dubai was in news as world's first camel hospital was started in Dubai. So Mr. Tony Lewis is from England. The 2021 World Games, which have been rescheduled to 2022, was initially planned to be held in which city? Right answer is Birmingham. So 2021 World Games was supposed to be in USA, and now they have been rescheduled to 2022. Why? Because this postponement was done to avoid clashing with Tokyo Olympics. Please note that recently Tokyo Olympics were also postponed, and they are going to be in 2021. Now it is important to note that the World Games are organized every 4 years, and these consist of 32 sports which are not included in the Olympic Games. Now one important thing is that one Birmingham is in USA, another one is in England, and this one is going to be the host of 2022 Commonwealth Games, and the archery and shooting event of this 2022 Commonwealth Games are going to be in Chandigarh. Rest of the events are going to be in Birmingham in England. So these were the most important questions of today's quiz. Thank you, and that's all for the day.